Now, your Weather Authority forecast from meteorologist Amber Wheeler.
And that line of storms referenced in that story there is already giving tornadoes. So that tornado count will rise here. You can see here to the north, the tornado watch box, the tornado warning, severe thunderstorm watches and warnings there in parts of Texas. And that's all heading in our direction. Now, this is the severe potential for your Sunday. And you'll notice here that it does include us because this particular map goes until 7 a.m. on Monday morning. So that's why we have this decent risk here for us, even though there's nothing for us right now. That's because it's arriving early tomorrow morning. And then Monday, we have this risk as well as that line does push through. It is expected to weaken a bit. So we still carry that risk after 7 a.m. and through the first half of Monday with that severe potential, giving us damaging wind, large hail, and even isolated tornadoes. So let's go through how the radar could look for you as we head into early tomorrow morning. So here's where that cold front's going to be around the 5 o'clock hour. And notice how we have this bowing look here on the models, and that tells me we've got some very strong winds in these storms. We've already got the strong winds up to the north there. They're going to carry to the south. Our partners, our sister station in Baton Rouge, already are ready for this line to hit early tomorrow morning, and then this moves towards us around the 5 o'clock hour and through 6, 7, 8 o'clock. You'll notice here this line will be very potent. It's going to have very strong wind gusts well over 60 miles per hour, possibly at 70. That's damaging here. And we're talking hail the size of 1, maybe 2 inches as this pushes in. But notice it gets a little messy. That's because it's going to start to weaken, but then the rain field could get a little bigger. So we're talking still torrential rainfall as this moves through the city and as it exits to the south, say around lunchtime. We certainly could see a few stragglers into the afternoon. This cold front's not going to completely clear us. In fact, it's going to become stationary and wash out as we head into Tuesday. We get that onshore flow back on Tuesday, and the humidity is just sticking around. So here's the rain potential for the system. Because that complex of storms is, again, moving in from the north here, it is going to carry some very heavy rain. This is just one model, so this is not going to be exactly how this goes, but this tells me that we have the potential to see 3+ inches somewhere in this area here that we need to watch. Widespread, at least a couple of inches, 1 to 2 inches, with the possibility of seeing some street flooding with this complex. Now, behind this, we're not going to see a lot of rain chances this week. Our next cold front moves through next weekend. That's going to be a strong cold front. And it's going to bring us some chillier temperatures for the following week. So here's your upper level atmospheric pattern here. We've got this trough to the north. This is what's carrying that cold front that we have right now. Again, not really going to clear us, not going to give us some chilly temperatures at all. In fact, we're just going to heat right back up behind this. This week, we've got this ridge of high pressure that we'll be under. We've got this chance for some heat. The center of that ridge well off towards the east here. But this particular pattern is a windy one, so keep that in mind. Windy conditions Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and hot conditions as well. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. We're probably going to be breaking some record highs for the second half of this week. We do have a stronger cold front as we head towards the next weekend. That's going to dig a trough into the eastern United States. That's going to give us some chillier temperatures for the second week of April. So not done with those strong cold fronts just yet. So we go from the potentially record-breaking heat this week, mid to upper 80s, possibly seeing our first 90s, to the second week of April, seeing the chillier temperatures. Of course, cold fronts this time of year, they're a little different than they are in January. So we may be talking maybe some 60s for highs, maybe some 70s. We'll see. That's still well over a week away, but chillier temperatures are ahead, which means chillier mornings as well. But here's your forecast for the next week. Here's how all that looks in a 7-day. Of course, really highlighting Monday as that first alert day with those strong storms moving through. And then for the rest of the week, those mid to upper 80s stick around. I do believe that some of us could see our first 90 of the year. So we are looking at some hot temperatures this week, of course, the first 90 of many, as we know, and then heading into next weekend with a little bit more of an unsettled pattern. And our winds will be a big factor starting Wednesday. So for all the mariners out there, something to keep in mind Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday of this week. Stay with us. Sports is next.